Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. We work hard every single day on this channel, and if you learn something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Let's take a look at some of the unbelievable comments that have been emerging from Washington, D.C., specifically some really interesting and some rather surprising things from many Republicans. Let's start with the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who was responding to calls for a January 6th commission, and he dismissed these calls as, I quote, a purely political exercise. And this is a direct quote from the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. At the heart of this recommendation by the Democrats is that they would like to continue to debate things that occurred in the past. I mean, as far as I know, you can only debate things that occurred in the past because you cannot debate things that occur in the future. But let's take a look at what the Senate Minority Leader said. Let's check this out.
I think at the heart of this recommendation by the Democrats is that they would like to continue to debate things that occurred in the past. They'd like to continue to litigate the former president into the future. We think the American people going forward and in the fall of 22 ought to focus on what this administration is doing to the country and what the clear choice is that we have made to oppose most of these initiatives. So I think this is a purely political exercise that adds nothing to the sum total of information.
In a strongly worded response, Congressman Ted Lieu, and you'll see his tweet on your screen, Congressman Ted Lieu, who's a Democrat from California, said this: remember the 9/11 Commission that examined an event in the past? Remember the Warren Commission? Remember the Benghazi Select Committee? He said, it's hard to create a commission for events that have not yet happened. Take a look at this tweet on your screen from Ted Lieu responding to the Senate Minority Leader. Now, on a lighter note, Good Morning Britain host Bill Turnbull was speaking with comedian Seth Rogen, and he asked him, you what, smoke marijuana every day? And to which Seth Rogen replied, I do, all day, every day. I have for the last 25 years or so, I would say. Very interesting comments from Seth Rogen. And sometimes I ask myself, are all the public officials on marijuana or on some sort of recreational drugs, specifically individuals like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Let's take a look at what Seth Rogen said. Let's watch.
I mean, drugs, you're very honest about it, but you smoke cannabis, smoke marijuana every day?
I do, all day, every day. I have for the last 25 years or so, I would say. It's something that is, intrinsic to my day-to-day functionality.
Well, no wonder you go to bed early.
Exactly. I also wake up early, though.
On a more serious note, Seth Rogen said something that was very important. He says he does not understand why some comedians complain about cancel culture. He said this, and I quote, saying terrible things is bad. So if you said something terrible, then that's something you should confront. I don't think that's cancel culture. And I've never heard anyone quite put it like that, as simply as that and as eloquently as that. And I would tend to agree. Let me know what you think about all these shenanigans, all these comments about cancel culture. If you say something wrong, you should be held responsible regardless of cancel culture. Let's roll the tape and hear what Seth Rogen had to say about this subject. Let's watch.
Saying terrible things is bad. So if you said something terrible, then that's something you should confront in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that's cancel culture. That's you saying something terrible. If that's what you've done. You know?
Well, you got a lot of...
Now, speaking of nonsensical comments from Republicans, let's take a look at Republican Senator John Kennedy, the Republican from Louisiana, as he's questioning Dr. Fauci. He asked Dr. Fauci this, and folks, I can't make up some of this stuff even if I wanted to. He asked Dr. Fauci this: can we agree that if you took the Chinese President Xi Jinping and turned him upside down and shook him, the World Health Organization would fall out of his pocket? To which Dr. Fauci replied, I don't think I can answer that, sir, trying to hold back a laugh. Pretty incredible question, pretty silly if you ask me. But again, this comes from a Republican senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy. Let's check this out. Hard to believe, but this is indeed what's happening. Let's watch.
Can we agree that if you took President Xi Jinping and turned him upside down and shook him, the World Health Organization would fall out of his pocket?
I don't think I can answer that question, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, do you think that the President Xi Jinping has undue influence over the World Health Organization, do you?
I have no way of knowing the influence of the president of China over the WHO.
And speaking of hard to believe and borderline crazy, here's a comment from the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And he said this while he was discussing school reopenings. He said, I quote, "The crazy people are the ones that are vaccinated still wearing 6 masks in New York City." And I don't see why we should be pointing fingers and blaming each other. I think we need to be united as a country. But hey, that's just little old me. Let's take a look at this comment from the Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, the Republican from Florida, about crazy people are the ones that are vaccinated still wearing 6 masks in New York City. Let's roll the tape and check this out.
I think they sent, like, one of the corporate media outlets sent some reporter down. They were trying to make fun of Baker, like, oh, these yokels are having kids go in school. How crazy are these people, right? The crazy people are the ones that are vaccinated still wearing 6 masks in New York City. I mean, to be honest with you.
So that was it, everyone. Another episode of the DC Comedy Hour, where you're getting some pretty nonsensical statements from Republicans as they try and avoid commissions, avoid accountability, avoid matters of national security, question the pandemic, question the approach to the pandemic, and now starting to question the origins of the pandemic, all of which are important, all of which need to be investigated. But again, the goal here is not to point fingers, but to look within and see how we can improve as a country. So that's it, everyone. Let me know what you think of these rather bizarre, nonsensical, shocking comments from Republicans on matters like national security, on matters like public health safety, and on this horrific pandemic that has changed life as we know it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Please click the like button below. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would be greatly appreciated. That is your vote of confidence in us and all of the efforts that we put into this channel on an ongoing basis. When you consume this content in 8 minutes, 10 minutes, remember that it takes us hours to put this together because of all the editing that goes into the scenes, because of all the organizations behind every video. All I ask from you is you please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.